After making insensitive, ignorant, and anti-Semitic comments, Whoopi Goldberg gets suspended from The View.
The Holocaust isn't about race.
How dare you?
Are you retarded?
Apologizes.
I'm sorry.
Comes back. And then doubles down on more insensitive, ignorant, and anti-Semitic comments.
When you talk about being a racist, I was saying you can't call this racism.
What the fuck?
But who's counting? I'm Jazz Borganzo, and this is What's Next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Borganzo here, another episode of What's Next, your daily dose of common sense and facts with, of course, a dash of salt. Hope you guys are doing well today on this Monday. I'm sorry, wow, I'm a day behind on this Tuesday, excuse me. Well, and of course, now that Christmas is behind us, and sadly, more stupidity, ignorance, and wokeness. Yeah, that's never going to go out of style. Whoopi Goldberg, former actress, former comedian, still says she is a comedian, has been on The View for the last 1,000 years, made a comment, an insensitive and ignorant comment regarding the Jewish people and the Holocaust. She got booted. She got suspended. 7 days, okay, comes out with a mea culpa, my bad. Comes back to The View, doubles down on the ignorance and stupidity and the anti-Semitic comments, and nothing. Surprised? Oh, I'm not. I expected it. Let's take a look. This comes out of Breitbart. Whoopi Goldberg doubles down on claims that the Holocaust wasn't racial, calling it a white-on-white violence. Yes, because, of course, it's racism. After causing an uproar the first time around, comedian and TV host Whoopi Goldberg again claimed the Holocaust was not racial in nature, but it was an example of white-on-white violence. Yes, like those damn anti-white supremes. Violence because both Nazis and Jewish people are white people. Okay. Goldberg was suspended from her job co-hosting The View for 2 weeks earlier this year over similar remarks during one episode. During an interview with the Sunday Times over the weekend, Goldberg lamented her outcry on comments generated back then and defended herself, saying the claim that the Jews were not victims of racism during the Holocaust were factually correct. Remember who they were killing first. They were not killing racial. They were killing physical. They were killing people they considered to be mentally defective. And then they made this decision. When the interviewer countered Nazis did not view the Jews as white people, but rather as subhumans, Goldberg responded in saying, yes, but that's the killer, isn't it? The oppressor is telling you what they are, she continued. Why are you believing them? They're Nazis. Why are you believing what they're saying? It doesn't change the fact that you cannot tell a Jew on a street, she said. Jeez. You could find me. You couldn't find them. That was the point I was making, she said, before going on to suggesting the outrage that has been disproportionate, but you would have thought I'd taken a big old stinky dump on the table, butt naked. Ugh. The vision. In an episode of The View in January, Goldberg said the Holocaust isn't about race, but an example of man's inhumanity to man. As Breitbart News reported, she then turned her co-host and then called on them to be truthful about the Holocaust and admit that Jews and Nazis are two white groups of people who were just mad at each other. Goldberg, who changed her name to sound Jewish despite having no Jewish ancestry whatsoever, later on issued an apology on air stating words matter and that she stands with the Jewish people. Yes, the first time around, my bad. The second time around, oh well, fuck you. Shortly after the scandal broke, however, she appeared on the Stephen Colbert's Late Show and seemed to walk back her apology. The Nazis lied. They had issue with ethnicity, not race, because most of these Nazi white people were white, and most of them they were attacking were white. So to me, I'm thinking, how can you say it's about race when they're fighting each other? So it really all began. I said, how can we explain to children what happened to Nazi Germany? I said, this wasn't racist. This was white-on-white crime. And everybody said, no, it was racial. And so that's what it all came from. Goldberg's choice to double down on the claim, both with Colbert and more recently, the Sunday Times interview, suggests her apology was garbage. Now, we go from that to those who made, you could say, similar comments, but were given an extremely short leash. Remember Kyrie Irving? Yes, his comments regarding, a video that he's put his support behind. And of course, the NBA tossed him out of the league. Well, suspended him out of the league. This comes out of the New York Post. Kyrie Irving was asked if he had any anti-Semitic beliefs. The fact that his answer was not a flat no has further raised the attention of Anti-Defamation League. Of course, those wonderful people at the ADL who criticized and commented on a Christian family organization, and then called them evil. But neither here nor there. And, of course, then likely the Nets and the NBA. Irving speaking to the media this past Thursday in Brooklyn, in the middle of a controversy stemming from his sharing of a movie that contained anti-Semitic tropes, was asked the question which he talked about around saying, I respect all walks of life and embrace all walks of life. That's where I sit. Now, they're saying Kyrie Irving was sent to a re-education camp of sorts. So that was nice, and fined $5 million. But we go from that to this, also from the New York Post. Remember Gina Carano? Remember wonderful Gina Carano, who was on the hit show The Mandalorian at the time, and then she came out with supposed anti-Semitic comments, Gina Carano was found freedom and cancellation. The legendary former MMA fighter was fired from Disney Mandalorian over a year and a half ago in a spinoff after an Instagram story comparing the heated political climate to Nazi Germany. Of course, this was a year and a half ago. Gina Carano's career, however, was not over. She signed on with the Daily Wire to restart and reignite her career. And of course, she's very happy. But again, it's neither here nor there. My comments. Oh, did I forget about Kanye? Remember Kanye, who made those wonderful I stand with Hitler comments on, Alex Jones? How much of a leash was he given? So here's the comparison here and the contrast. You have Gina Carano fired from Disney because she compared political climate at the time to Nazi Germany, because Nazi Germany was all about the Holocaust and not what led up to it, which was the very heated political climate at the time. Then here comes Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, who basically doesn't take the vax. He stands strong against it. Everybody cheers for him for it. Then he comes out and supports an obvious anti-Semitic movie and gets hit with $5 million and gets sent to re-education camps by the NBA. Then we have Kanye. Kanye, who's been a little off, started off with a wonderful comment regarding different situations on Tucker, and then that just went off the rails. And then, of course, he ended up on Alex Jones with a mask over his head saying, I love Hitler. But now we have, of course, Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg makes anti-Semitic and insensitive racist comments in saying the Holocaust was, no, the Holocaust was nothing but white on white crime. Suspension. Comes back after apology and then doubles down. And yet, what do you hear? Nothing. You hear nothing at all. Squat. But if we mention, I don't know, black on black crime, for example, say in Chicago, where they break records every weekend for how many shootings, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 people who get shot. Over the 4th of July weekend, there were over 80 people shot in Chicago, black on black crime, not one cop involved. No one says nothing. Philadelphia, Baltimore, Atlanta, Miami, New York, LA. Name your big city, democratically run, of course. Name your big city, and you will have out of control black on black crime, but no one says squat. Because A, cops were involved, and B, of course, there were no white people. But Whoopi Goldberg makes this stupid comment, not once, but twice. And yet, she still has a job. Because if it were you or me, we would have been fired for this. But then again, it's Hollywood, and they protect their own. The hypocrisy. Gotta love it. I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.